What's up, everyone? Back again. Concerning times ahead now. Everyone's worried what's going on, Everyone pointing fingers, everyone blaming Todd Bohley. But before we get into that, I want you to do something for me. Remember to like, subscribe, and share this video. And that's how we're going to help this channel grow. If you like the content, leave a comment. Alright, Todd Bohley. People are blaming Todd Bohley for everything that the club is going through right now. But for me, I'm not so much convinced that he's the main problem. Because at the end of the day, when Clear Lake got the club, it was two figures. We have Behdad Eghbali and we have Todd Bohley. But Todd Bohley was pushed to the forefront as if he's the only main holder of the bigger share in Clear Lake. So they made it seem like he's the one that's in charge of everything Chelsea, but he's not. You have to remember, it's a partnership. In business partnerships, you're going to have all kinds of fallout and all kinds of disagreement. In my opinion, sometimes it's best you just have one leader. However, that's not the case, so. But let's see if we can dissect it. So Todd Bohley. When Todd Bohley just came to the club, they got the club after Roman was forced to sell. Maybe a lot of people was happy that Roman was gone because, Chelsea wasn't their favorite club. By the way. So things happen. We have new owners now. Never thought we'd see the day. We know if it was Roman right now, we'd be winning a trophy already out. Roman doesn't like going this long without winning trophies. So, Todd Bohley. Todd Bohley came in after we won our second Champions League. Todd Bohley and his crew. Yes, they had Thomas Tuchel was the manager at the time. Yeah. And if you remember that summer, we were going through a lot of changes. All the directors were gone. Higher up. They were making changes higher up. And Todd Bohley was rumored to be involved in making transfers and all that. In my opinion, that was false. He might have been in the dealings, but Todd Bohley doesn't know about football, so he had to have people advising him. At one point, Tuchel was overwhelmed because he had to be involved in transfers. I don't know, a lot of coaches would have been happy to be involved because at that time, that's when you could be saying, all right, this is a player I want. Do anything to get this player and whatnot. We got some good players and some experienced players. Some of them didn't work out, but that happened. That's the sport. Some of them will come in and they'll hit the ground running. Some they have one bad game and then they can't recover from that. But that's just how it is, So some of them have moved on now. So we're looking past that. But what I want to say is that right now the club is focused on signing young, exciting players. You can't even say experience because a lot of these players coming in though, they probably have one season of professional experience, and the leagues they were playing in wasn't the same as the Premier League. The Premier League is a much demanding league, higher quality league, a lot more tactics in it, So it's harder to come and adjust to this league. So people trying to say that it's Todd Bohley that's messing up the club, but in my opinion, that's a no. Because when he was in charge, he was getting experienced players. He was trying to compete right away, And then after all that, you stop seeing him as much, and then you see Behdad Eghbali coming out, and I think that's when he decided, let's focus on getting in young players. And every year we're signing so many young players, and we're not seeing them coming in the team. Right now we're in a desperate situation where we don't have a fit center forward for the first team, and yet still the one center forward that they brought in, David Washington, they're loaning him out in Brazil to Santos. So kind of confusing, even though we know Chris Nkunku is not a good player, but he's not a center forward. So it's still concerning. So I'm hoping, I don't know, Maresca will get it right. We'll hope he'll get back and help the team find back the form they were showing earlier. Even though earlier in the season when they were playing well, we know things would happen because they were winning games, but they weren't keeping clean sheets. And if you can't keep clean sheets, then that's an issue. Because everyone knows goals win games, but your defense is what's gonna win you the trophy. So we're hoping Marissa can get it right and we can find, I don't know, hopefully I see some young players in the youth team. I don't know if Mariska doesn't really trust them, but he's saying the owners trust him. So a lot of things he's been saying lately hasn't been going down well with Chelsea fans. you know, coming out that the club, the owners are knew we weren't gonna get top four this season, which I know that's nonsense. Because without top four, we might be getting FIFA Fair Play might get involved because they were spending a lot of money. And when you go to Champions League, that's the thing that helps you balance your books because you get more games you win. Well, once you're in the competition, sponsors coming in and all that, get money from winning games and all that. So that's just him keeping a lid on basically when he's saying that. But no manager wants to just go somewhere and not win. He's very inexperienced. He was at his first full job was after leaving Pep Guardiola was at Leicester City. They did well, but the same thing happened at Leicester City where they fumbled a 20-point lead or so, and almost ended up not qualifying for the playoffs to come to the Premier League. But he ended up that didn't go so, and he ended up coming to the Premier League. And then Chelsea went in. They were admirers of him, and they brought him to the club. So now we see the club now going for young, unproven talents. In my opinion, you need when you're gonna go for young players. If it's fine to go for young players, but you have to have players that have guts. Even though they're young, even when they're losing, they're gonna fight. A lot of these players now we're losing, but they're not really showing any fight. So it's worrying, but I know we can get it right. So they're trying to blame Todd Bohley, saying Todd Bohley is doing this and that. No, I don't think it's Todd Bohley. I think right now it's Eghbali. You know, right now we need to go in for a proven centre forward. If it was up to me and Chelsea, I'd be like, just sell all the dead weight. You get rid of Badia Shill, you get rid of Disasi. Felix doesn't want to stay, get rid of him. Get rid of Nkuku if he doesn't want to stay. But it's still a risk to get rid of Nkuku and Felix because then who do we have in the number 10 position? I don't know if you're looking at Chukwuemeka because they were going to sell him, but they ended up sending him on loan to Dortmund. So maybe if they get rid of those players, they're looking for Chukwuemeka, which is a good player, to be the replacement for Cole Palmer. Well, that wouldn't be a bad thing, but once you get rid of all these dead weights, and other players are gonna be sold too. So you go in and you get a proven centre forward. Right now, the best person to fit Chelsea's football system would be Alexander Isak, but he's over 100 million, and I don't know if Chelsea wants to do that. But for a player like that, go ahead, get it done. It's the way of the market now. Everyone wants to quote their players over 100 million. So, and Isak is a very good player. So if we get him at Chelsea, I think he'd do very well, and that's a step in the right direction. Players like Chalaba and Renato Vega. Chalaba, I think at this point for his mental health, because he's a good player, but if they kept him, he'd be the last player to sell. But if Crystal Palace wants him as Mark Guehi's replacement, then do it. Maybe I think we need someone with a calm head like Mark Guehi. Chalaba is calm, but we know every now and then he has some lapse in concentration where he's not doing anything terrible, but sometimes the decision making has cost goals. So if we can get a Mark Guehi, that would be great. I still think the Petrovic should come back as the number one starting goalkeeper because he's better than who we have. I don't think Philip Jorgensen is good enough. Not yet, at least. We don't know what's going to happen down the line, but he's not currently not good enough. Sanchez, definitely get rid of Sanchez. We don't need him. Sanchez is a joke. You can't take a Brighton goalkeeper and try to put him in Chelsea football clubs. As the main starting goalkeeper. And when Eghbali came out and said Brighton is a well-run club, he's not wrong, but you have to remember there's levels to it. Brighton competing, them not getting relegated and finishing top 10. That's a win for them. At Chelsea, that's a fail. Chelsea Football Club it's first or nothing. It's not the end of the world if you're finishing in the Champions League spot, but Chelsea wants to be winning a trophy every year. That's the standard that was set by Roman, and that's what we're gonna live by, and that's the philosophy of the club. That was our system. People said Chelsea has no plan, but our plan was always been to win trophies. So right now that's what the focus should be on, winning trophies, and we need to get back there. The players need to dig deep. The dead weight needs to go, and we get a smaller squad. And next year we implement players like Petrovic into the team who are doing well, and Andre Santos is doing well. So we need to bring in a definite centre back, and a definite striker. Sancho, if it was up to me, I'd let Sancho go back to Man U, even if they buy him, they still can sell him in the same window. Bring him in. If he has already met the clause that I think once Chelsea finish in the top 10, then the clause is gonna be activated that they have to buy him. But depending on the Modric situation, one of him or Modric has to go. I don't know what's gonna happen with Modric and his doping situation. So we have to wait and see. But one of them needs to go and we get in a player like a proven player like Rafael Leao. Rafael Leao needs to be at a team that's competing for trophies every season, and I think Milan is in a rebuild process, and I think he's ready. Milan is willing to sell, and I think he's ready for the next step. So if we get a player like that, then you get rid of a Sancho or a Modric. If Modric is doping test comes back and he doesn't end up getting a ban, then we keep him and move on Sancho. But we can't have both of them. They're two players that are mentally fragile, and it's so sad that at the time when Modric was starting to do well, that's when he had this drug. They found drug in his blood system. So it's sad, you know. He's had a rough time at Chelsea, but we're hoping he'll come good. We're still patient because we know what he can do. So, but we need someone on the wing like a Rafael Leao. We need Pedro to step up. He's gonna have to step up now because Manduenke is gonna be absent for a couple of games. So we work on that and get everything going. Get the right formula, and we get back to winning ways. And hopefully we can finish in the top four. It's been horrible not being able to watch Champions League with Chelsea in there. That's not the Chelsea I grew up watching. I grew up watching Chelsea every year competing for trophies, and in the Champions League on a Tuesday or Wednesday it was refreshing when you had to make plans around the Chelsea game. So that's why we're hoping to aim back and get back to the top. I need that trophy this year. I'm hoping we win the Conference League. It's not the most prestigious trophy, but I'll take it. So let me know your thoughts in your comments, and we'll talk again. Bye.